Okay, people, here we go again. You already know, hit the like button. Let's just get 3,000 likes on this because I got information that I need to get out to everyone. If you're new, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. And I'm just going to listen. I'm just going to tell you right now, a lot of people are going to have their feelings on this video. A lot of their feelings are going to be up. But I just want to talk to you at the end of this. Let's go through some business because at the end of this, like I keep saying, it doesn't matter who you voted for. This tariff affects us all, right? And it didn't work in the past and it's working horribly now. Now, again, do we need to have a fair trade? Yes, we do. Is China taking advantage of us? Yes. Does something need to be done? Yes. But I'm telling you, look at your retirement. Look at your investments. They're going away. And let me just get into this because I'm focused and I want you to be clear on what I'm focused on. On yesterday, I made this video. Are you ready for the next dip? Okay. And, a couple of people just got all twisted and, some people said it's over. Some people said it's going to be years of this. And you have all of this back and forth, which yields nothing, good people. All right. Yields nothing. Okay. So then we had Fed Powell come in today. Let's see if we can get rid of this. We had Fed Powell come in and Fed Chair Powell gives starkest warning yet on potential economic consequences for tariffs. Okay, we could see here. And so what's really going on is that, people are feeling the hurt. Here's think the economy. Here's a new poll. People that think the economy is getting worse. In November, it was 42. In February it was 49, March 51, and now 53. It's going to an all-time high because we're feeling the pain. It was just like the eggs going up. Well, everything is going up now, right? And for those of you, I could tell already, some of you, yeah, but, and you're right. The previous administration did a horrible job. Deal with it, Democrats. He did a horrible job. And yes, you're going to say the market was up, but it was inflated and ready to fall. Our debt was spiraling out of control and something had to be done. Now, is this the right thing to be done? To me, if you ask me, not in this fashion. Okay. So that's just my opinion. Let's keep going before you, because I want to point to something, right? So now we got Nvidia facing a $5.5 billion in charges as the U.S. restricts chip sales in China. Okay. So now Nvidia is bringing tech down and all of tech start to fall, which QQQ and the NASDAQ starts to fall, pulling the entire stock market down today. And I started buying. I started buying QQQ at -4%, not -4% for the month, but for the day. For those of you that don't know, a 4% drop in a day for the NASDAQ is freaking mongus. All right, that's all I got to say. Okay, but then look at here. We got today, we could see the Dow down 700 points, S&P down 120 points again today, and the NASDAQ down 3. It closed at 3, but it was actually down more. So if you go here, this is the 15th, all right? Today is the 16th. If you go to the 15th right here, you could see that the NASDAQ today was down more than 4%. And I was buying in the negative. This is where I was buying. And I let my money moves know I'm buying. And I let them know that I wasn't putting half of my dry powder in. I wasn't putting a third or a fourth in. I keep nibbling on days like this. And one of my portfolios was down by 12,000. I spent 12,000 in the NASDAQ. Okay. That's what I did. I spent because I have dry powder, but I know a lot of you don't have dry powder. And that's why this is hard for me to watch. But please watch to the very end. So we got crypto holding strong. Crypto is still holding strong in spite of everything. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to crypto tomorrow, let alone the next 5 days. I don't know. And so here's what I want to share with you. I turn and I look at the media, and this is the point I want to make. And there's another point. And I look and I listen to CNBC and I listen to Fox Business, right? And you know, this is why I tell you, you cannot afford to just listen to one media and let it feed you. So I listen to CNBC, and of course, when the market is up, they'll have people on just talking about how the sky is green, how the S&P is going to close at 6,500. It's all of this is positive. But soon as there's a reversal, then all of the guests they come on are negative, right? And so that's NBC's thing. Yeah. But I do like the fact that they have both Dems and reps on CNBC. Okay. So that's why I use them a lot. But I watch Fox actually more today than I did CNBC. And this is what I don't like, good people. And I don't care about your feelings. I'm going to give you the truth. I want you to listen to this. Okay. Right? Just listen.
The survey showing that Americans are saying that hurts us more than it hurts everyone else. And of course, this is people who don't really know what tariffs are, including most of the so-called experts who go on television. But there's been an effective media campaign, and I think it's an anti-Trump campaign because Democrats used to love tariffs, so, not long ago. And
so let's stop. He's right. Democrats used to love tariffs. He did not want to show this survey, good people. He didn't want to show it. He did not want to show this. All right? Just keep listening.
What do you make of that, Tiffany? Because here's what I'm concerned about. That Americans waving the white flag and the media help waving the white flag and politicians waving the white flag is only emboldened China. And not just on trade, but militarily as well.
No, you're...
As one poll.
So what he's focusing on is Trump. This is all against Trump and the media. You and I are feeling it. All right. If you voted for Donald Trump, you're feeling the pain. And this is what they're, we've taken more than this before. And this is all against Trump. No, this is against our money. Right. And then I turn, and just as long of a clip that they spend on that, they spend on this, talking about hockey. Right. And so this is what they do. All right. CNBC have things where they switch on a dime, and then they'll say Tesla's going to this. And then when they don't get to that, they'll lower it. And then when Tesla takes off, they'll raise it. Right. But then you go to Fox Business and it's all about Trump. That's all they kiss. They kiss the ring. And that's not helping you people that are just watching Fox Business or CNBC. And I'm just saying, and I listen to them because there's a lot of good in both of these channels. There's a lot of information. I care about you, and I care about us, and I care about our money, because he who has the gold, he who owns the gold makes the rules. And these people in the White House, these people in government have the gold, and they keep making the rules. Marjorie Taylor Greene, making a ton of money off of Trump's moves just before he announced them. Just like the other lady did, Nancy Pelosi did under Biden administration. So this is why I'm an independent. And this is why we need somebody to come out and just tell the truth and not buy to one side or another. We need someone to just come out and look us in the eye and tell us the truth and not be bought by any party. Larry Jones is going to make way more money when this is over, good people. I'm going to make way more money because I had dry powder. And just like we don't know how long this is, I keep buying these dips. And at the end of the day, you think this time is different, and it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. When COVID hit, It was the worst. Nothing ever like this happened. No one knows how long it is. Is it going to wipe out the entire human population? Nobody knew. Yet we came back. The Great Recession. It lasted forever and a day. Those were the 3 longest years ever. Nobody had any money. Markets never coming back. It came back. In the 90s, the dot-com. This is the worst. It took forever. Just years and years and years of pain. It came back. Those of you from 2022, when will it be over? Every time you bought, it got deeper. Then you bought again, it got deeper. It bought again, and it got deeper. 2022 was a bloodbath. And I stood flat-footed, 10 toes down, and told you guys the truth. My first investment was 92. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I was where some of you are watching your portfolios dwindle down to nothing. All right. I'm going to play a clip here. I don't know if I had it queued up. And I just want you guys to listen. Okay. I just want you guys to listen to this clip. I'm trying to cue it up a little bit. And let's just listen.
9 years when there was a great period of certainty. We always talk about there's so much uncertainty. Life is uncertain. So is there any certainty in investing right now?
There is not. We're going to learn a lot more in the next few weeks in terms of how companies are dealing with tariffs and what the tariffs are really going to be. There are a bunch of negotiations going on, so we'll get a little bit more certainty. But I think as an equity investor, which equities make the bulk of most people's portfolios, you have to find the opportunities. You have to be selective. And I do think there are opportunities out there right now.
So I agree with that. I agree with that statement. Okay. And I look for a statement I can agree on. And at some point, good people, you must admit, we don't want to hear any more butt kissing. Right? There's a saying. Democrats fall in love, Republicans fall in line. There's a saying. And to a degree, it's true. Right? And just because you're a Democrat or a Republican, don't get your feelings hurt. But at some point, we don't want to hear all of this. Oh, it's Trump, Trump, Trump. No, it's you and I. Okay. And just think about this. We got a billionaire and you feeling sorry for a billionaire and your retirement is literally going away. And 1 or 2 of you tapped out because you couldn't take it anymore. But you're fighting for a billionaire instead of the common man. And that's why I am people over politics. People over politics. I can care less about your politics. Because at the end of the day, they all robbing us. They robbing us. But who's going to have the kahunas to stand up and look you in the eye and tell you the truth? I wish it was more truth tellers on main platforms. I wish somebody would just stand in the middle and tell the truth. I wish they would. I wish the Democratic Party didn't let these absolute lunatics from the extreme left rise to the top of their party, right? And then they lost because they deserved the loss because y'all let these lunatics lead the party. And to a degree, now the right, y'all doing the same thing. Instead of putting people over politics. Here's what I do know. And you say, Larry, why are you talking about politics? Because they've taken over everything. None of us could even talk about the stock market or crypto without talking about politics now, because they got their hands in your pockets and my pockets. And the truth be told, we're paying for it. Here's what I did do. Here's what I did do when the NASDAQ was down 4%, QQQ on the daily. I bought 4% down, negative 4%. It's negative 3% now because I think it was an overreaction. I bought. And here's the deal. We could see right here on the daily, we could come back and wick back down to 438. And then we can wick back down to 423 on the QQQ, right? Which I have more buy orders here at 438. And I have more buy orders here at 425. Just in case. We ain't going to wait until it hits the bottom. Just in case. That's where I have. And what happens if that's not the bottom, Larry? Then I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. At some point doing all of this, this is what ticks me off. Because people which is 90% of us, are emotional when it comes to trading. And unfortunately, people, which is about 85% of you guys that are listening to me right now, you're going to miss it because of everything that's going on. You're going to miss it. And at some point, you get tired of looking at the red in your portfolios when all you need is time to build wealth. And again, this is the 200-day moving average. We went over this, and I'm going to keep going over this. Look at this. In 2023, if you bought there, would you be up good now? Yep. Right here, the 25th in 2023, October 25th. If you'd have bought here when it touched the 200-day moving average, would you be better off now, even with the fall off? Yep. If you'd have bought it here. So now we are literally touching the lows. This is when you know it's an overreaction. We are touching the lows. It didn't even touch here, but it touched here. You could have bought here and then you would be down again. But look at this, good people. These are buying opportunities. And here's 2022 when it was the absolute worst. So let me just go out. And this is why you need time and patience. Let me just go out. Look at that. That's 2020. Look at that. The great, that was COVID. Look at that. Before COVID, 2018. And so even when you hold your nose and buy, let's say during COVID, you would still be up 133%. Look at that. On the Qs, QQQ, which is tech heavy. And I bought a little more VUG too. So this is what I want to tell you. And this is what I said on yesterday's video. Go to the ETF or the stock that you didn't get or the crypto that you did not get. And I wouldn't go out 30 days now. I would go out 60 days now and spot where the lows are. If you got time and money, and this is money you don't need in the next 3 years, and be brave. And I'm just going to tell you what Larry is doing, because anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. But what Larry is going to do is just whatever stock it is. I'm looking at Affirm and SoFi and my growth portfolios, QQQ and VUG, a little SCHD. Those are the ETFs. So now I was a little light in those. And so what are you light in? Are you light in Meta? Are you light in Tesla, Nvidia? Look at companies that are going to continue to make money. Anything wrong with those companies right now? Nope. This is all tariff driven. This is all tariff driven. That's what this is. So the economy did not bring us to this point. This was tariff driven. And at the end of the day, there's deals being cut right now. And at the end of the day, because this cannot continue, they wanted the Fed to sound hawkish, and he didn't. He sound dovish. He did not come out and say, I come to save the day. He didn't come to say that. And he just said, hey, more data. Unfortunately, these tariffs are going to do what they're going to do. That's what he pretty much said. And so the market didn't like that. And I believe this was an overreaction. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow can't be even lower. None of us know from day to day, minute to minute, what's going to happen next. So you got to get out of your emotions, make a plan, and stick to it. I'm not selling what I bought today if it goes lower. I didn't sell what I bought the last time if it goes lower. I've spent over $100,000 in the last 2 weeks in ETFs. Okay? 150,000 I've spent over. Actually, more than that. Now, that's my hard-earned money, just like you have hard-earned money. But I'm here to tell you that I'm not selling it. And I don't care if it keeps coming. Because all I could do is look at the past and see what the outcome is 11 to 18 months from now. You'll be glad you made this decision. I did it in 2021. And when everybody said the world was ending, I wound up making a ton of money. Okay? I did it in 2008 when everybody else was like, oh, this is the end. And I just kept buying. And I profited. Okay? So I'm telling you guys, I did it in 2022. And the only regret I have from 2022 is I didn't go in more because it was looking dim. Gloom and doom was all you was hearing from both of these networks. All right, good people. I'm going to leave it right there. My heart bleeds for you if you're getting ready to retire because man and his games are just like men with bombs. You know, it's like the old song that Stevie Wonder sang. People, get your heads out of the politics. Cut off CNN, cut off Fox, and don't just watch CNBC and don't just watch Fox Business. That's what I'm saying. Concentrate on your money and don't fight these wealthy people's battles because you're the one that's going to lose.